Humanity is but a minuscule speck in the vast tapestry of existence. If we were to compress the entire timeline of the world's history into a mere 24 hours, our presence would only amount to 77 seconds. In that fleeting span, we have achieved great feats and accomplishments. However, let us take a moment to broaden our perspective. Let us withdraw from the confines of our cities, states, and countries. Let us zoom out from the Earth itself and venture into the boundless depths of the cosmos. With each step further, we come to realize the true extent of our insignificance. Our existence pales in comparison to the vastness of space, reminding us of our humble place in the grand cosmic scheme. As we stand on our tiny world, staring up at the vast expanse of the cosmos, we feel small, insignificant, and confronted with the terrifying mystery of the unknown. It's this very feeling of insignificance and uncertainty that forms the bedrock of a genre of horror that's unique, profound, and thoroughly unsettling. That is the very heart of cosmic horror. Cosmic horror is, in my opinion, the most unique subgenre that horror has to offer. It explores the terrifying notion of humanity's insignificance in the face of vast cosmic entities that exist beyond our comprehension. This subgenre delves in the existential dread and fear that arises from encountering the incomprehensible and alien forces lurking in the cosmos. What sets this subgenre apart from others is its focus on existential dread, making the viewer wonder about our place in the universe. Cosmic horror is not so much about what lurks in the shadows of a haunted house or the monsters under the bed, but about the terrifying unknowns of the universe itself. The threat isn't some masked killer breaking through a door. It's the idea that maybe, just maybe, there's something more to our world. Something that no matter how hard we try, we will never be able to comprehend. This isn't a genre that seeks to scare with jump scares or gore, but rather through a deep, existential dread. It's the fear of realizing that humanity is not at the center of the universe like we like to think. Not even close. It taps into our deep-rooted fear of the unknown, reminding us that there are realms and beings beyond our understanding that would render our existence utterly inconsequential. We are insignificant, powerless, and at the mercy of cosmic forces that are indifferent to our very existence. One of the key characteristics of cosmic horror is the concept of madness. In many cosmic horror stories, characters go insane from the revelation of the universe's terrifying truth, unable to comprehend or accept their place in the cosmos. Other times, characters are so confronted with something so beyond twisted, beyond their understanding, they can't help but go mad. The human mind, it is suggested, simply isn't equipped to understand these profound and disturbing realities. Cosmic horror is also notable for its use of unimaginably powerful entities, often described as gods or ancient alien beings whose very existence defies our understanding of reality. These entities are often indifferent or even hostile to humanity. They're not evil in the traditional sense. Instead, they operate on a level far beyond our human comprehension. Among these entities, perhaps the most famous and tattooed on my back is CTHULHU, a monstrous deity described as part octopus, part dragon, and part human. Cthulhu lies in a death-like slumber at the bottom of the sea, waiting for the stars to align and signal his reawakening. Let's take this threat and compare it to the polar opposite. Jason Voorhees, the iconic antagonist from Friday the 13th. Jason represents a more tangible and immediate threat. He is a relentless, unstoppable force that hunts and kills his victims with brutal efficiency. This direct attack approach is much different from a slumbering giant that threatens all existence. Cthulhu is a godlike entity beyond human comprehension, whose mere existence induces madness and drive those who encounter him to the brink of insanity. Jason Voorhees is a physical threat, one that will run right through you if you let him. Cthulhu embodies a cosmic terror that goes far beyond the realm of death and physical harm. His very existence renders ours obsolete. With Jason, maybe you could get away. But with Cthulhu, even if you could get away, would it even matter? Another thing that sets cosmic horror apart is the reliance on atmosphere. Instead of typical haunted houses or creepy forests, cosmic horror often takes us to alien worlds or dimensions, filled with bizarre landscapes and non-Euclidean architecture that defy our understanding of physics. The very environment becomes a source of terror. Then we move on to my favorite trope of cosmic horror, the idea of forbidden knowledge. Let's go through the classic Lovecraftian story structure. Our main character is oftentimes an intellectual working in the sciences, who's confronted with something a bit beyond their understanding. When they dig further, they discover a truth that turns their world upside down. It warps the entire sense of beliefs and personality that made them who they are. The thing is often an entity not of this world, and just knowing about it can drive you insane. That is the big picture with cosmic horror, and the main reason why I find this subgenre so fascinating. It's one thing to create a slasher filled with over-the-top violence. I love that stuff, don't get me wrong. Cosmic horror stories often leave me with a gut punch so strong that I ache for a few days. They make me think of something else out in our universe, that maybe we're not alone. And worse, it doesn't matter. So in cosmic horror, we confront not the monsters that lurk in the shadows, but the unsettling vastness of the cosmos and our infinitesimal place within it. It's a genre that doesn't just scare us, but forces us to reconsider our assumptions about our importance in the universe. To explore the origins of cosmic horror, we must delve into the works of one man, Howard Phillips Lovecraft, an American writer who lived from 1890 to 1937. Although largely unrecognized during his lifetime, Lovecraft's writings, particularly in his so-called Cthulhu mythos, have since become extraordinarily influential. I need to slow it down a bit and offer up a bit of a warning. See, I cannot in good conscience suggest Lovecraft's work without letting you know that the man was a racist. Undeniably so. And not something that we can just kind of hand wave away with an art versus artist type of deal, since his racism oftentimes bled into his work. Racial slurs are common throughout his writing. He depicts people of color as savages that time forgot. It wasn't okay then, and it's not okay now. I bring this up because I'm assuming most of you watching are unfamiliar with cosmic horror and in tune also familiar with Lovecraft. I'd hate for somebody to watch this video, find a collection of Lovecraft's work, available for free online, and then immediately be blindsided by racial slurs. It's something that should be acknowledged and disavowed. I also bring it up because I feel like if I don't, someone else is going to, and try to bring it up in a way that makes it seem like I am somehow unaware. Trust me, I am aware. He made it very obvious. Some folk in the horror community say to avoid Lovecraft altogether, that his racism is unforgivable and that his stories aren't worth reading. And that's really something I'm not going to argue against. I'm pausing because half of you are expecting me to say but and then start defending Lovecraft, but there is no but. That's not going to happen. Lovecraft was influenced by earlier writers such as Edgar Allan Poe, but his cosmic perspective was truly innovative. He rejected the human-centered outlook of most horror fiction in favor of a universe where humans are irrelevant, and comprehension of this truth leads to madness. The first notable work in this vein was The Call of Cthulhu, published in Weird Tales magazine in 1928. It was a groundbreaking piece of fiction that introduced the world to Cthulhu, but it also laid the groundwork for Lovecraft's broader universe. A universe filled with ancient alien civilizations, bizarre gods, and the chilling concept of human insignificance. Over time, other authors started expanding on Lovecraft's concepts, building on the foundations of his universe, often referred to as the Cthulhu mythos. These included contemporaries like Clark Ashton Smith, Robert E. Howard, and later authors like August Derleth. In decades since Lovecraft's death, cosmic horror has grown and evolved, finding new forms and interpretations. Escaping from the pages of prose, cosmic horror went on to other forms of media as well. The late 20th century saw cosmic horror themes appear in film, with movies like Alien and Event Horizon providing a sci-fi twist on the genre. Video games too began to embrace cosmic horror with games like Eternal Darkness, Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and my personal favorite, Bloodborne. In the realm of literature, authors like Thomas Ligotti picked up the torch and ran with it, putting a modern spin on classic Lovecraftian tropes. Today, we see the influence of cosmic horror in a wide range of media, from the body horror of Annihilation to the existential dread of True Detective's first season to the mind-bending narratives of Control in video games. Cosmic horror continues to evolve and grow as time goes on. The timeless appeal of these themes, it seems, is as vast and enduring as the cosmos itself. Let's go back to Lovecraft. For as much as we've talked about the man, I feel like it's time to finally talk about his stories. Lovecraft's body of work is extensive to say the least, with each story a unique exploration of cosmic horror. Let's delve into a few more examples and the themes that they explore. At the Mountains of Madness, published in 1931, takes us on a chilling expedition to Antarctica, where a group of explorers stumble upon ancient alien structures and the frozen remains of grotesque creatures. They discover that these beings, known as the Elder Things or Old Ones, once ruled the Earth in prehistoric times and are responsible for creating life, including humans. The notion that human beings were created merely as an accident of an alien species is a disturbing revelation that highlights our insignificance and lack of control over our own destiny. In The Shadow over Innsmouth, Lovecraft presents a story of a decaying seaside town, its odd inhabitants, and their horrific pact with a race of undersea creatures known as the Deep Ones. This story is rife with themes of mutation and hybridization as the townfolks interbreed with Deep Ones, sacrificing their humanity for promised wealth and prosperity. The fear here stems from the notion of losing one's identity and humanity, becoming part of something alien and incomprehensible. The Color Out of Space tells the tale of a strange meteorite that crashes onto a farm, releasing an extraterrestrial entity or force that drains the life and vitality from everything around it. This entity is never seen by human characters. Its true form is a color unknown to the human eye, making it the embodiment of the unknowable, the slow, inexorable corruption of the land, and the family living on it is portrayed with a chilling sense of inevitability, underscoring the theme of human helplessness in the face of cosmic phenomena. There's a distinct lack of closure or victory in many of Lovecraft's stories. Characters rarely overcome the cosmic horrors that they encounter. At best, they just delay their inevitable doom. Cosmic horror's influence has spread far beyond Lovecraft's original writings. Let's highlight some notable works and creators who have significantly contributed to the subgenre. Ridley Scott's 1979 film Alien is one of the most iconic cosmic horror stories in the world of cinema. The film tells the tale of a crew aboard a commercial space tug who encounter a deadly alien creature that hunts them down one by one. But the true terror of Alien comes from the nature of the creature itself, an organism with a life cycle so alien, so horrific, that it challenges our human-centered perspective of life. Event Horizon, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, is another exemplary film in the cosmic horror genre. This 1997 movie combines the fear of the vast, empty void of space with supernatural horror, creating a chilling narrative about a spaceship that disappears into a black hole and returns with something else. The literary world has also seen numerous authors contributing to cosmic horror. Most notable among them is perhaps Stephen King. While not exclusively a cosmic horror writer, many of his works will draw heavily from the genre. Books like It and The Mist showcase otherworldly entities and dimensions that evoke feelings of insignificance and unknowability. In the world of video games, few titles encapsulate cosmic horror as vividly as FromSoft's Bloodborne. Players are thrust into a gothic city plagued with an endemic illness, only to slowly uncover the city's ties to eldritch cosmic entities. The game brilliantly uses its mechanics to make the player feel small, reinforcing the genre's themes. Television, too, has had its share of cosmic horror influences. True Detective, in its first season, weaves a crime narrative with a deep undercut of cosmic horror. The show's creator borrowed so much from Thomas Ligotti that one might make the argument for plagiarism. In fact, I'm pretty sure he actually did get sued for it. Anyways, more recently, the film Annihilation, based on Jeff Vandermeer's novel of the same name, has brought a new twist to cosmic horror. The story revolves around a group of scientists venturing into an area known as the Shimmer, a place where the laws of nature just don't apply. The surreal and terrifying experiences of the creators, as well as the alien environment of the Shimmer, embody many of the themes of cosmic horror, especially the fear of the unknown and the breakdown of familiar reality. While these works are brilliant, there is an inherent difficulty of bringing cosmic horror to the screen. Film, in my opinion, is the most difficult way to adapt the terror of the unknown. After all, it's a bit difficult to bring something completely unknowable and incomprehensible to the big screen. That's why I feel like cosmic horror works best in prose. When we read a cosmic horror story, our imagination fills in the gaps. Each of us conjures up our own unique version of the indescribable horrors that Lovecraft and others hint at, often resulting in something far more terrifying than anything on screen. Moreover, the internal psychological struggle with the characters undergo when faced with incomprehensible vastness of the cosmos is deeply introspective, something that literature can portray in an intimate and compelling manner. It's one thing to watch a character lose their grip on sanity, but another thing to read about their undoing from their own perspective. Literature gives us a window into the character's mind, whereas with film, we can only see the action as it's happening. There's no room for deep introspection, especially from a character's perspective. It's important for me to point out that reading is my favorite way of experiencing horror. The movie's too scary, I can just close my eyes. The film will play on regardless if I'm paying attention. But a book demands my attention. It baits me into reading more despite my fear. I know, and the book knows, that if I look away for any reason, if I slam the pages shut, then the book has won. It's important to remember that the fear invoked by cosmic horror comes not from the creatures themselves, but what they represent. A universe that is vast, unknowable, and indifferent to human existence. This sense of existential dread, the questioning of our place and significance in the universe, is often more officially conveyed through introspective and imaginative medium of prose. While cosmic horror can be adapted to other forms of media with varying degrees of success, it's within the pages of a book that it finds the most natural home. In literature, cosmic horror continue to push the boundaries, to challenge our perceptions, and to confront us with the terrifyingly unknown. Expanding on the realm of cosmic horror literature, there are a few writers who have taken up the mantle from Lovecraft and have brought new perspectives from the genre. Among the most notable of these is Thomas Ligotti. Thomas Ligotti is an American author whose works have become synonymous with modern cosmic horror. While Lovecraft often hinted at the idea of cosmic indifference, Ligotti delves headfirst into it. His stories are not so much about external threats from cosmic entities, but more about an internal, existential dread. In collections like Songs of a Dead Dreamer and Grime Scribe, Ligotti presents worlds that are surreal, uncanny, imbued with an overwhelming sense of dread and despair. His characters often grapple with the terrifying insignificance of the human existence against a backdrop of an indifferent, often malevolent universe. His novella, My Work Is Not Yet Done, tells the story of a corporate employee who plots revenge against his coworkers. Here, Ligotti uses cosmic horror elements to explore themes of dehumanization and existential despair within the context of corporate culture. Ligotti masterfully weaves together these themes of existential angst, the futility of human existence, and the insignificance of individuals in the cosmic scheme. The narrative unfolds with a palpable sense of unease as the reader is confronted with a world where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blur. Through Frank's perspective, we witness his descent into a spiraling abyss of cosmic dread, where we become fixated on the idea of a malevolent cosmic entity known as the Black Swine. The cosmic horror elements in My Work Is Not Yet Done is intricately intertwined with the protagonist's personal journey. Thomas Ligotti's work differs from Lovecraft's in its more introspective focus. and its direct exploration of existential and philosophical horror. While Lovecraft's horrors often come from beyond the stars, Ligotti's come from within the human mind. Yet both authors use the genre to explore the concept of cosmic horror, the terror and indifferent universe and insignificance of humanity within it. Cosmic horror's influence can be seen in a wide range of media and genres. Many horror and science fiction works incorporate elements of cosmic horror, infusing their narratives with a sense of dread and awe inspired by the unknown cosmos. The impact of cosmic horror is far-reaching. Its influence can be felt across media, genres, and even academic discourse. Its unique approach to horror, placing the emphasis not on gore or shock, but the existential dread of the unknowable, continues to captivate and terrify audiences, marking it as an inevitable part of our cultural landscape. One of the most significant trends in modern cosmic horror is the diversification of perspectives and settings. Today, writers from a variety of backgrounds are using the subgenre to explore a range of social and cultural themes. We're seeing cosmic horror tales set in a wider array of locations, involving a more diverse cast of characters than ever before. Lavale's, and if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, I apologize, novella is a reimagining of Lovecraft's story The Horror at Red Hook, one of Lovecraft's most racist stories, but told from the perspective of a black protagonist living in 1920s Harlem. The story uses elements of cosmic horror to comment on systematic racism and social injustice. In cinema, cosmic horror has found a home in psychological horror and thriller films, where fear of the unknown and insignificance of mankind is a key theme. Movies like The Void, Under the Skin, and The Lighthouse have borrowed from cosmic horror to create atmospheric, dread-filled experiences that unsettle audiences in a deeply existential way. Another trend we're seeing is kind of genre blending, where elements of cosmic horror are being combined with other genres to create something new and interesting. For example, there's been a rise in what may be termed cosmic horror comedy, stories that take the element of cosmic horror and infuse them with humor. Books like John Dies at the End by David Wong, or movies like The Cabin in the Woods use humor to offset the existential dread, creating a bizarre but entertaining balance between the cosmic and the comedic. This blend of humor and horror creates a fresh, often absurd take on the genre. From diversified perspectives and genre blending to its expansion across different forms of media, modern interpretations of cosmic horror continue to explore and expand the boundaries of the genre. As we continue to confront the existential questions posed in advancements in areas like space exploration and artificial intelligence, it seems likely that cosmic horror will continue to evolve and resonate with our collective consciousness. Now let's shift our focus to an often overlooked medium for cosmic horror: comics. Yes, comic books. Mostly known for superheroes, but comics and horror have been tied together since the 50s. It's also an excellent platform for tales of cosmic horror. From the Lovecraft-inspired works of Alan Moore to the nightmarish tales of manga artist Junji Ito, cosmic horror has left a substantial impact on the world of comics. There are many notable cosmic horror titles in comic books. Alan Moore's Neonomicon and Providence are profound explorations of Lovecraft's mythos, introducing cosmic horror genre to a new generation of comic book readers. Works like Lock and Key by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez, and Mike Mignola's Hellboy series also contain elements of cosmic horror, blending it with fantasy and action. However, one of the most significant figures in cosmic horror comics is not from the Western world of comic books, but the Japanese world of manga: Junji Ito. His works have been an enormous impact, not just in the realm of manga, but horror in general, inspiring creators across the globe. Junji Ito was born in 1963 in the Gifu Prefecture of Japan. From a young age, he was fascinated by the darker side of the human imagination, inspired by artists like Kazuo Umezu and Hideshi Hino. But Ito's works have gone beyond those influences to create a unique style that combines grotesque body horror with the existential dread of cosmic horror. While working his day job, he began submitting stories to Gekkan Halloween, a monthly horror manga magazine. His breakout work, TOMIE, began serialization in the magazine in 1987, marking the start of his career as a professional manga artist. TOMIE is a series of stories centered around an immortal girl who drives her admirers to madness, often leading them to murder her, only for her to regenerate and spread her curse further. While TOMIE is more psychological horror than cosmic, it marked the emergence of Ito's unique approach to horror, one that blends the terrifyingly familiar with the shockingly alien. Ito's foray into cosmic horror truly took off with his landmark series, UZUMAKI. This 3-volume series tells the story of a small coastal town cursed by spirals. As the story progresses, the town's obsession with spirals becomes increasingly deadly and surreal, culminating in a reality-warping climax that firmly places UZUMAKI in the realm of cosmic horror. It's the perfect horror story, as it takes something so ordinary, a simple spiral, and turns it into something sinister. Ito's other works like Gaiu and Hailstar Remna also incorporate elements of cosmic horror, presenting terrifying scenarios where humanity is at the mercy of inexplicable, destructive forces. His distinct art style, characterized by intricate detail, grotesque imagery, and a pervasive sense of dread, makes his interpretation of cosmic horror truly unforgettable. Junji Ito's influence on the horror genre cannot be overstated. His works have inspired countless creators from across various mediums. From comic book artists to filmmakers and video game designers, many have cited Junji Ito as a significant influence. Ito's influence extends beyond Japanese manga into Western comics as well. Artists like Emily Carroll and Eric Powell have cited Ito as an influence, and his signature style can be seen in horror comics across the world. His works have also made a significant impact on the indie comic scene, with many artists emulating his style and themes in their work. Junji Ito's impact on horror goes beyond the printed page. Filmmakers like Guillermo del Toro and Jordan Peele have expressed their admiration for Ito, and his stories have been adapted into anime, live-action TV shows, and films in Japan. Elements of his unique approach to cosmic horror can be seen in many modern horror films and TV shows. Most of these adaptations are not that great, and keep in mind I am filming this before the UZUMAKI anime has been released, but the Netflix shows are an abysmal disappointment, further showing the importance of supporting the source material. His influence extends to the realm of video games as well. Developers like Frictional Games, creator of Amnesia Dark Descent, and Hideo Kojima himself handpicked Ito to do the design work for the now-cancelled Silent Hills, #Konami. Ito's approach to horror, his emphasis on atmosphere, his themes of cosmic insignificance and dread, his uncanny ability to make the familiar seem so deeply unsettling, has had a significant impact on how horror is approached in video game design. Junji Ito's contributions to cosmic horror is profound. His works have reshaped the landscape of horror manga and beyond. They've introduced cosmic horror to a broader audience and demonstrated the genre's potential in visual storytelling. Ito's cosmic horror works remind us that we're at the mercy of forces beyond our understanding, just as Lovecraft's stories did nearly a century ago. But where Lovecraft's horror often came from the stars, Ito's horror often comes from within our own world, from everyday objects and familiar settings that are twisted into something deeply unsettling. It's this uncanny juxtaposition of the familiar and the alien that make Ito's work so effective and memorable. Now let's dive into a more in-depth analysis of a specific work within the cosmic horror subgenre. For this discussion, I've chosen H.P. Lovecraft's seminal short story, The Call of Cthulhu. This piece is often seen as the granddaddy of cosmic horror stories, marking a significant milestone in the genre's development. But before we delve into the story itself, it's worth noting some history surrounding Lovecraft's creation of The Call of Cthulhu. The story was a bold step into new territory. With The Call of Cthulhu, Lovecraft moved away from traditional gothic horror elements, instead creating a narrative that fused horror with science fiction, resulting in a new kind of fear, one rooted in humanity's place, or lack thereof, in the universe. The story is presented as a manuscript, narrated by Francis Wayland Thurston. Thurston is sorting through the papers of his late granduncle, George Gamel Engel. I did not pronounce that at all correctly, and I don't care. A professor of Semitic languages at Brown University who died under mysterious circumstances. Among his granduncle's effects, Thurston finds a bas-relief sculpture displaying a creature of nightmare and madness, a monstrous entity, part octopus, part dragon, and part humanoid. This creature is later revealed to be Cthulhu, a cosmic entity who lies dead but dreaming in the sunken city of Ryla. The narrative of the Call of Cthulhu is told in 3 distinct acts: the horror in clay, the tale of Inspector Legrasse, the madness from the sea, each providing a different perspective on the horror that is Cthulhu. Lovecraft skillfully uses these different accounts and perspectives to build a picture of horror that is global and insurmountable. The fragmented storytelling mirrors that fractured psyche of those who encountered Cthulhu or his influence, further enhancing the story's sense of dread and unease. The heart of the story, and indeed the defining feature of cosmic horror, is the concept of humanity's insignificance in the face of cosmic entities. The idea that humans are not the masters of the universe, but merely ants in the cosmic playgrounds, is a theme that Lovecraft explores in the Call of Cthulhu. The story opens with the horror in clay, where Thurston discovers his late granduncle's research into the bas-relief and notes about a series of bizarre dreams. These dreams are shared by a global array of artists and poets, all of whom have been inspired or driven mad by visions of a terrifying city and a monstrous creature. The understanding of Cthulhu and the city he lies in is presented as a dangerous, sanity-shattering truth, something humans were not meant to know. The theme is further expanded upon in the second act, The Tale of Inspector Legrasse. Here we learn of a Louisiana police inspector who stumbled upon a horrifying cult worshipping ancient cosmic entities, who they claimed came from the stars and would one day return to claim domination over the earth. And finally we come to the madness from the sea, where Norwegian sailor Gustav Jonsson recounts the terrifying experience coming from the rising city that Cthulhu lies in. Despite managing to escape and temporarily halt Cthulhu's awakening, Jonsson is left mentally scarred by the encounter. The madness from the sea presents the heart of cosmic horror, the confrontation with the cosmic entity. The moment Cthulhu is revealed, all pretense of understanding or control is shattered. The sailors are confronted by their utter insignificance, driven to madness by the realization of truth far beyond their comprehension. Throughout the Call of Cthulhu, Lovecraft forces us to question our place in the universe. The story suggests that we are not masters of our world, that there are ancient alien entities far more powerful and incomprehensible than we can ever understand. And most terrifyingly of all, these entities are indifferent to us. The Call of Cthulhu contributes significantly to the cosmic horror genre. It embodies the genre's key themes: fear of the unknown, humanity's insignificance, the horror of cosmic indifference, and presents them as a narrative that has influenced countless works. Despite being nearly a century old, the Call of Cthulhu remains a timeless tale of cosmic horror. Cosmic horror offers an unsettling journey into the terrifying unknown and confronts us with the profound insignificance of humanity within the universe. Its power lies in the ability to tap into our deepest existential fears, forcing us to question our place and purpose in a vast and different cosmos. Through our explanation of H.P. Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu, we've seen how cosmic horror challenges our perception of reality and our sense of safety and understanding. This story, along with many others within the subgenre, uses the themes of forbidden knowledge, insanity, and the unknown to create a sense of dread that is profoundly existential. The works of authors like Lovecraft, Thomas Ligotti, and others have not only entertained us, but also pushed the boundaries of our imaginations. They have forced us to confront and ponder on the unsettling realities that we might not be alone in the universe, and what else is out there is far beyond our understanding. Cosmic horror's influence can be seen across books, movies, television, and video games, proving its enduring appeal and adaptability. From Lovecraft's pioneering tales to modern interpretation in works like Annihilation or Control, this subgenre continues to evolve and captivate audiences with this exploration of the unknown. The unique power of cosmic horror lies in its capability to unsettle and terrify us, while also provoking deep philosophical and existential questions. It stands as a testament to the vastness of our imaginations and the profound impact of fear on our consciousness. As we continue to delve into the mysteries of our universe and confront the potential horrors that might await us in the unknown, cosmic horror will undoubtedly continue to offer an engaging, thought-provoking, and of course, terrifying way of exploring these themes. Thank you for joining us on this journey to the abyss of cosmic horror. We hope it's given you a deeper appreciation for this fascinating subgenre and its significant contribution to the broader landscape of horror. But remember, as Lovecraft himself wrote, the most merciful thing in the world, I think, is the inability of a human mind to correlate all its contents. So sleep well and remember, sometimes it's best not to understand all the mysteries of the universe. Until we meet again, take care and stay spooky, my friends.
Hey guys, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. It's my first major production, so I need all the support I can get at this point. YouTube literally hates horror content and will do anything to bury it. So you finding this video, let alone watching all of it, is a miracle in its own. Please like and comment as it really helps the channel grow. Be sure to subscribe as I'm making a video about every subgenre of horror, and if you like this video, you'll want to be sure to stick around for more. I cannot thank all the lovely people who helped me pull this off enough. Their names are listed above with all their socials linked in the description. Please check them out and support my friends in turn for supporting me. This little video turned into a major community project. I really couldn't have done it without all their help. It goes to show that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. We're not alone in this spooky world.